The reason why I wanted to see the vision of a wellness treatment recovery center is to build capacity in the north and to help people that are struggling.
I too have spoken to many families that are struggling, and my family as well. They don't know which way to turn. This place, this healing place, will make the process much easier.
My heart is troubled. I have so many grandchildren who struggle. We all are seeing challenges. We have an opportunity.
My sister, as many of you know, committed suicide in 2003. I knew that she wanted to make a difference in her life. She had quit drinking, quit drugs, and just trying to make something different, but it was too much for her. It was really devastating, and I know many of our communities. I can only speak on our family, and I know that this has impacted many other families. Suicide is a big issue and continues to be a big issue. And I remember going to the hospital and her kids were there and they said, "Who's going to look after us, Auntie?" You know, it's the reality that we face still today. So this is a place for healing, and we want everyone to feel welcome here. We want everyone to come here, regardless of where they're at, where they're from, what their beliefs are, what their religion. You don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. We all need help. A bit of a background of how we started the vision. So in 2006, I was at a NORTEP graduation. Toby Greshner had just been appointed the Assistant Deputy Minister for Northern Affairs. And he had asked me, he said, it was only my 1 year into being chief. And he said, "What do you want to see? What do you want to do for the North?" I said, "Well, for me and the community, what we want to see is a treatment center, a place where people can come and help themselves." And Toby Greshner said, "Okay, well, let's get to work on it." So we formed a committee with leadership from across the North, from different communities. We were able to get $50,000 from the provincial government, and we hired contractor to talk to all the frontline workers working in mental health and addictions. And then so they went out, and it definitely showed that we were in need of a treatment center in north central Saskatchewan, not only to service the Lac La Ronge Indian Band, but to service the whole North. 2006 to 2015, we still had the vision in mind. So I approached Dr. Margaret Crest-White. I met her, and I knew that she was a person that was really compassionate and passionate about mental health and building the capacity. And at first she was kind of reluctant, but then she said, "Sure, I'll do it for you." So I went to go see Alex Campbell, who was the RDG for the First Nations Inuit Health Branch. So I said, "Would you be able to give us $200,000 to do a feasibility study?" But he said, "Sure," and he gave us the whole $200,000. And so we're really grateful for that. So with that $200,000, we were able to hire Dr. Margaret Crest-White, and then we were able to form a committee made up of all the Lac La Ronge Indian Band 6 communities. So we had representatives from all our 6 communities, including our health board from La Ronge and Stanley Mission. Our study was done July of 2015. Margaret had finished, I think it was a 100-page report feasibility study that she did for us. So it outlined all our needs, wants. It had a vision of how the community members envisioned a wellness treatment recovery center would look like. So from there, we were ready to have a launch of the feasibility study. But then we had the forest fires in 2015. It was just really a difficult time, so we had to put the plans on hold in 2015. And then in 2016, we had our tragic youth crisis, where we lost youth in our community to suicide, and that was a very challenging and difficult time for our community, and that was in 2016. So from there, we still had the feasibility study, and we still wanted to keep pushing this project forward, the Wellness Treatment Recovery Center for the North. And then we had lobby efforts, so I had approached Chief Bobby Cameron with the Federation of Indigenous Nations, Grand Chief Brian Hardlot, who were huge parts of helping us lobby for getting the Wellness Center. So I asked Chief Bobby Cameron, and I said, would you be able to get us a meeting with the Prime Minister so we can present him the feasibility study?
I remember working intergovernmental affairs, and PM Trudeau had just got elected. Your chief was there, proposal in hand, and she said, this is for our wellness center. Our community needs healing. And that's what I used to see her advocating for all the time. So from those days of this government first coming in, and her having that proposal, and today, here it is.
Gladys and I representing the band, Lac La Ronge Indian Band, and Chief Bobby Cameron. So there I was able to present the feasibility study to the Prime Minister and just tell him what we wanted for our community. So that was Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. And then they said, okay, well, you need to do a business plan. Like, this plan looks really good. We like it, but it needs more work. You need to do a business plan. So from the feasibility study, we did a business plan. We presented the new business plan, and then it still needed more work. So we hired another consulting company to do another business plan, exactly what was required. So we did that business plan, presented it to the federal government, and then from there, I actually spent some time with the business writers, just writing our vision, and they said, you know, you never know if the federal government or the provincial government will fund this, but you just never know. So we just went with the plans. We also lobbied the provincial government at the same time because we needed the provincial government to be at the table. So we had asked for $20 million for the whole project because we wanted the wellness center. We also wanted mini healing lodges in each of the communities, the 6 Lac La Ronge Indian Band communities. So this is the vision that we had. And then from there, we kept on lobbying. And then the provincial government, we met with the provincial minister, Jim Ryder, in Saskatoon at the caucus office. And then we also met with the officials there. So they said, well, if the federal government puts in, we will too. So we asked the provincial government for 2.5, and then the federal government came back and said that they would fund us $11.6 million. It was just amazing to receive that news. I was actually in the bush that time at a youth hunting trip in way up north at Dawn Lake, it's called. When I received the call letting us know that we're going to be getting this $11.6 million to help with the Wellness Treatment Recovery Center, there was a little boy there, and he came to the tent where I was staying. I was just sitting there, and then he came there, and he had this eagle feather, and he said, "This is for you." He said, "I picked this by the lake. Do you want it?" I said, "Okay, sure." And then he gave me that eagle feather, and it was just another sign to say that we're on the right path and to continue to push this project forward. And then when we let the provincial government know that the federal government was putting in the 11.6 million, the province committed to the 2.5, and the band before that had committed to $2.2 million to the project. And it was the health board and then the council that approved that, so we want to thank them for that. We had chosen downtown La Ronge at first, where we have our urban reserve, but there's a bit of people felt that maybe it wouldn't be the best location for the wellness center because of the downtown activity, and it's busy downtown. So this was also another recommended site. It was Lillian Sanderson that said, how about right by the Jeannie Bird Clinic on the highway, this site to the council, and they approved it. So from there, it's a lot of different people that have made this dream become a reality, and I'm really grateful for that, and I'm grateful for the project team that has stuck with this vision and making sure that it's here today. So thank you.
We need this in Sturgeon Lake, Montreal Lake, James Smith, Black Lake, Hatchet, Fond du Lac. We need every First Nation to have one of these healing and wellness centers, because we battle this on a daily basis. What an awesome day, a historic day. Congratulations, Lac Orange Indian Band, for implementing, protecting what we call the treaty right to health.
The Woodland Cree Healing and Wellness Center will have so many positive impacts and will be a positive influence beyond just treatment recovery for individuals who come here. Wellness is something that can be spread in a good way.
I commend Chief Tammy Cook-Searson for her incredible leadership on her dedicated service to the community and beyond for so many years, Chief. And I also want to extend a sincere thank you to the project team, community members, and also the elders as well that provided input and vision for this great project here today. This new Woodland Wellness Center has great potential to close some of the critical gaps along the mental health and wellness continuum for Indigenous and Northern residents.
And on behalf of the Athabasca constituency, Premier Scott Moe, your members of legislative, thank you for this and amazing accomplishment, and all of us here should be proud. Thank you.
On behalf of NITHA, I just want to congratulate Lac Orange Indian Band and the partnerships that you've made. Your hard work and dedication to making this a reality will improve the lives of so many. Thank you.
And it's called the Women's Healing Journey, and I can't think of any better place for this exquisite painting to hang. And I know, Chief Tammy, you always say, you know, it takes a team, and you have everybody, and this was the community's vision. But you did so much work, and I know you're humble, but I just want to put you up on that pedestal because you made this happen too.
It doesn't surprise me. We've worked with Chief Cook and Kitsaki and the businesses on a collaborative basis for decades, and it's not a surprise to us that she's capable of pulling this group and show this kind of determination to making the reality that we see here today.
A community that works together today is a community that lives together forever. Remember that. When we're all done here today, and you enjoy this fine facility because of the efforts of you, remember that. A community that works together today is a community that lives together forever.